They'll probably say, where exactly are you going with this? I see you really trying to take it there. Old school flow, chew you out, ain't fair. Jordan pants don't...
Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Zop back at you real quick. You already know what time it is, but basically, man, this is one of those subjects that's going to be extremely controversial. It's simply for the fact that some people are just not gonna want to hear it, because, and I'll just say like this. You can tell by the title exactly what the video is about. It's about a homie rapping with a norteño. Look it. I know there's people that's gonna come on here and be like, oh, hey, you know nothing about it. You know, raza shouldn't be fighting raza anyway. At the end of the day, so much blood has been spilled between the two rival groups that it has nothing to do with peace. Whatever's happening in prison is in prison. The streets is the streets. It's the same way Mavaro might be, you know, going at it with these fools, and then in prison we're good, but when we hit the streets it's on and cracking if I don't know you personally. So, you know, when I hear things of that nature, it's a lot different from one southerner to the next, or, you know, us beefing with each other, because we know when to put the brakes on, and when we're told to put the brakes on, we're gonna put the brakes on, plain and simple. But now, as far as like a dude, and it's crazy because a lot of that they're saying is supposed to rap with a norteño. From what I hear, he's really nobody anyway. So, you know, for somebody of that nature with no real status, you know what I mean, to come up and try to bridge a gap that he wasn't even here for when the shit was broke in the first place, should just sit his ass down. And that's just being honest. Like, at the end of the day, whatever's going on in the pen, I have nothing against that. It's you know what I mean, you roll with the punches. There's been a lot of scenarios where shit have popped and you want your get back and you can't, because shit say, when shit say no, you know what I mean, when shit is a no-go, it's a no-go, and you gonna respect it or you gonna pay the price. So you roll with the punches and you learn to get the fuck over shit. But that's besides the point. So when I first heard about this homie wanting to rap with a norteño, I was a little upset at the fact that this dude has been nowhere. He hasn't, you know, there's nobody that can really vouch for him being anywhere. To me, I think he's just a youngster that's just trying to bridge a gap. Like I said, that him himself can't bridge. And again, let me just be blunt about it. I don't care necessarily about any treaties between us and the norteños. That's just whatever it is. I'm from down south. I stay down south. Every once in a while I might go up there to kick it with the homies, or just to, you know, I got family up there. But as far as like wanting to entertain something of that nature, nah, I'm not for it at all. I think for the homie down south to do something like that is like a slap in the face to the homies from upstate. And like I said, if you're a norteño and you're watching this, I don't have nothing against you, dog. You are who you are. We're basically just two sides of the same coin, just different flags and a different set of, I won't say morals, but a different way of thinking. I've seen, and I won't lie, I've seen a lot of norteños that were busting grapes. You know what I mean? They were handling their business. But at the end of the day, it's a division. You know what I mean? It's a division. I think as far as like on the streets, it should stay that way. I think a lot of blood has been shed, and not necessarily homies that I know from down here, but you got homies from upstate frontlining wars with these particular individuals. And for a homie from down south that I never ran into a norteño in his whole life, to try to jump on the, you know what I mean, and be like, oh, you know, we need to do this. Don't play that game, because 9 out of 10, you'll go up north and the homies will make you a victim, because they're not playing that. I get it, you know what I mean. Some people, you know, they want to be the not the politically correct one, but the ones that are like the trendsetters. You can't set no trend with that. Trust me, if it was gonna happen, it would have happened a long time ago. For the homie that's thinking about doing a song with D-Lock, don't do it, dog. You gotta, in the same, I can guarantee a lot of Norteños probably like, hell nah, I don't do no songs with those fools. Why? Because they've lost people that they've loved to the homies, and homies have lost people they love to these. It's the blood feud between the sur and the, is a real thing. Like, and for cats to just try to downplay it as if they're somebody, the only way that would ever happen is if somebody directly said, and even then I know it would be opposition, but like I said, people fall in line. But for a homie from down south to try to do a song with a Norteño and just blatantly disregard the fact that there's homies still up there knocking heads. I'm talking about from Frisco, from the valleys, all the way up, from Central, way up north into Oregon and all that. Still bumpy heads, still fools are still getting smoked. A homie just got smoked that not that long ago. It's like San O is still popping. Like, you don't got no right as a camarada to try to do something outside of the box. Like, it's not for you. Especially, I think the Vatos like in his 20s, like maybe 22, 23. Lots like that, their homies should sock their ass up and tell them to sit down. That's something that you should never try to do. You ain't even wiping your ass long enough to try to bridge that gap. Leave that alone, dog. And it's crazy because a homie sent me a picture, and this particular dude, like, I don't care, you know what I mean? I'm too old for all this bull, but yeah, I sock you up myself, you know what I mean? Straight up. Like, that's just you're doing a disservice. Like, I don't get mad at a lot of things anymore. I don't allow things to interfere with my energy. But when I see things like this, like the nature of it, like, there's gonna be people outside of the box and I'm like, Zad, you should be more on the positive tip. It's raza, raza, but it don't matter. It's the blood that has been spilled over and over and over. I know people just lost people to these wars. So miss me with that. If you ain't a camarada and you don't know what time it is, just keep your mouth shut. If you're, one of these fools, and even the Norteños know what's up. They know what's up, dog. They know what's up. You know what I mean? The real ones, their whole regimen is keep stitch lip. You don't see none of them doing YouTube. You don't see none of they stitch lip. They keep it. You know what I mean? Even when they rap, they got to be careful in what they say. So their regimen is a lot different than ours. Ours is in prison. You can't talk on cameras. Out here, as long as you watch what you say, you good. You know what I mean? But they're on a different pace, so I know they're not feeling it. So I don't really know who, particularly instigated it or who asked first, whether it's the little homie asking them or they asked whatever. But I don't think it's a good idea. You know what I mean? I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's a direct slap in the face. Don't be one of those homies that try to do something that's outside of the box, and then one day you go upstate and you may be looking for some help and they turn their back on you. Why? Because they're not vibing with that. These dudes are still out there front lining. I don't know if you've been watching, but fools be getting stumped out on IG, fools getting smoked. Just because we don't have to deal with the wars up there, they still dealing with them, and they still front lining. I'm talking about from Bakerfield on up. They like, so yeah. And I get it. There's a lot of homies. I forgot. There's lots of, I don't know, things from San Diego or something. I don't know. But, I get it. You're so far away from a Norteño that to you it's just another fool in red. You know what I mean? I love red. I like the color. I grew up with it. But, it's... be smart, bro. Like, I know this video is like kind of like a rant, but it's one of those, it's just like you gotta think, what's the benefit of it? What are you gonna benefit from it? If you're looking for quick fame for them to be like, oh damn, a Southerner and Norteño did a song together, like what? Of course it's probably gonna go viral because everybody's gonna be like, you're gonna have the haters, you're gonna have the, and not even haters, you're just people that's generally against it. Then you're gonna have the ones that's for it, and then the other ones that are like, brown power, the ones all about their race, like, oh, they see it as a good thing. So you have all these people rushing to see the video to see how it came out, what you said, what was the context of the video, were you talking about the other group and trying to, in a good way, I'm trying to shine light on it. But yeah, I'm just gonna say straight out, dog, it's not a good look. And if I was you, I wouldn't be stupid enough to do it, cause I don't care how gangster you are, dog. You go upstate, up north, whatever you wanna call it, and the homies are probably gonna sock you out. You, I don't. Is it for somebody that's been upstate, that's been to the Bay, been to Sac, been to all, like, the valley areas. Them fools will bury you out there, dog. Like they just is they're grimy. You know what I mean? They're just as grimy as the major cities, Los Angeles, San Bernardino. San Bernardino is grimy, but San Bernardino, San Diego, like the 805s, like it gets grimy, dog. If you ain't never bumped Taylor Norteño, you better, think about it, dog. But that's all I'm really saying on that. This video was just basically, tell the homie don't do it. You know what I mean? And for anybody that might talk to them, tell them don't do it. It's not a good look. To all the homies upstate, shout out to you, and hopefully nobody takes this too personal. But I know for a fact the Norteños don't want it, and the homies don't want it. So leave it alone, dog. You know what I mean? Leave it alone. On that note, your boy Zod, and I'm out.
Kneel before Zod!